only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD baby, no that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Dead homies got me pouring this. We get awards where we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see.
It's week 12 of the 2023 season. Up next, we'll see Russell Wilson. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Broncos and the Texans, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a joined as always by Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Broncos in this one, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Taken in at the 3. How about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 14 carries, 61 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments in how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Now it's Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's his first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism. Great hand out.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's going to be the leader by how he plays.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he stopped immediately there. The Texans had 0-11 now on the year. They come in needing just to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And let's face it, everyone now, they're looking to the leaders, both in the locker room and the coaching staff and, of course, ownership, because they've got to get a clear understanding about how everyone feels, because to me, you've got to focus on everyone in the locker room right now. That's what you're playing for. The future, it'll take care of itself.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
It's a gain of 4, and it gives them the first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And they're knocking on the door now. Right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll try to throw now. Young. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Second and 1 from the 2. Pierce now up the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they've got it with a third down and less than a yard.
We can see the goal line.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Wilson. And that is incomplete.
This is what you want to see from the defense. Recommitting themselves to the task at hand and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot. Yeah. But, you know, there was a big-time coaching mistake saying, if they throw the ball, they put it in the air, 3 things can go wrong, and 2 of them are
Because to move the chains that time, they had to complete it in double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Young. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Deshaun Hand in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's when we turn you around and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
Not quite enough leg. This one was on target, but it needed a little more behind it. And by about the width of a football, this will stay a tie ball game.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Alberto, 48 yards. As his guys have now moved out in front. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Seibert on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
This could be the turn. Let's go. Score on these guys, man. With a trick play. It's our game to win, old friends.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. They find some open field here. And they get him down the mountain before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And it's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Hand off left side, Pierce. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They give it off here to the tight end. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now the man from Kentucky, this is Lynn Bowden. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Young. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 2, Wilson. He's got a man complete. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them, because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now here's Young. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third down, here's Pierce. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first and 10, it's Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
On second and 10, Wilson toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And looks like we've got a down set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing again here, Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. That one thrown away. There was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. On second and goal, Wilson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Touchdown, Broncos! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson, 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. And Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. From the 10. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. From the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
This one fielded at the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Houston set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Going for it with Pierce. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First down, they go right back to Pierce. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And quickly, they get to the line. Throwing on 3rd and long. Russell. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They go play action here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
I think he thought he had his first read open on that one, but they were obviously ready for that throw, and that's just a lack of experience showing. Young quarterback stared his man down the whole way, and they were more than happy to sit on that route and bring home the INT.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Here's Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
He's got a man complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded right around the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Given 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 68 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Greg Dulcich, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. takes it at the 7. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Young. He'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Young. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Young on 3rd and 2. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Young on 1st down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time.
Personal foul.
This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Texans on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4. Now Young. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Broncos will take over on downs.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On third down, here's Williams. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
98 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Again, it's Williams. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you express that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to chomp on teams. And what I like to say is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now Young. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That's complete. It's Collins.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Young will set to throw. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Young. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
A tackle made there by Caden Stearns.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
He's able to work.
Run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They run. It's Williams. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in this.
My day one's here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Yellow offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day one's here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this. Wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in their pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day one's here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game.